Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
You're listening to Bloomberg Businessweek with Carol Massar and Tim Stenovec on Bloomberg Radio.
We've got something fun to talk about.
Well, our Bloomberg Intelligence team is out with a really interesting note today that could add to the woes facing the spirits industry.
Oh, so not so fun.
Well, yeah, maybe not. Use of weight loss drugs stand to deepen alcohol's demand slump in the U.S. and Europe as moderation and wellness trends gain ground. So by 2035, consumption of beer and spirits is expected to drop 20.3% and 19.2% respectively among GLP-1 users. That's here in the U.S. This according to an analysis from Bloomberg Intelligence.
Yeah, total losses could reach $28.5 billion, translates to about a 3 to 4% sales drag in the U.S. and 2 to 3% in Europe. There's that going on. The whole alcohol industry globally has had to deal with tariffs coming out of the United States. Just want to mention a quick headline crossing on that. The United States to exempt some Brazilian agricultural goods from 40% tariffs. So that's going on. And so we'll see, as the president and the administration has been looking at the cost of things, some rollbacks. I'm not quite sure how that will ultimately maybe impact the liquor industry, but we'll be keeping an eye on.
Well, it's the economic backdrop that informs our conversation with Allie Anderson. She's CEO at CraftCo. It's got a portfolio that includes more than 24 spirits and liqueurs. Think bourbon, gin, rye, ready-to-drink cocktails, and more. The company also does co-packing for other brands. She joins us from a distillery in Holland, Michigan. Allie, good to have you on the program.
And
Last time.
Thank you while we got through. The news flow, kiddo, just keeps on coming at us.
We can't guarantee that there won't be more interruptions with more headlines, but that's just the way it goes in a breaking news environment. Last time you were on with us, we spent the whole time talking about tariffs and the effect of tariffs on your business. And that's just one element that's a headwind. Other headwinds include changing consumer tastes and how people think about GLP-1s and increasingly people taking GLP-1s and that leading people to drink less. What is the environment for you out there right now?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you for having me back. It's good to see you guys and chat with us again. You said it at the top. All of the headlines, they seem pretty bleak, right? But I think that's what business is today, especially in the spirits industry. So what's the name of the game? You have to pivot. We certainly want to promote as much health as we can across all industries. But what we're looking at here is lifestyle shifts. And so the industry has to shift with it. Anecdotally, I was out to dinner with a friend a couple weeks ago who was on I said, "You look great." And he said, I'm cheating. It's a shot. But we enjoyed 2 cocktails and a lovely meal. So I think you see people making healthy choices when and where they can. And what they're actually choosing, what my friend chose that night, was quality over quantity. And so those are the pivots and the shifts that we have to make in industry as well.
I'm super like that with chocolate. Like, I just need a little piece of super good chocolate. I don't need a lot. And then I'm happy. And so, same thing with alcohol. No, but let's go there, because I do think price point is something increasingly, yes, health, diet, that's certainly an aspect, but price point is certainly increasingly something that we know all consumers are looking at. We saw that play out in the recent elections in some of the states. Like, the economy does matter. The money that is in or not in your pocketbook, it matters.
It absolutely does. And, I've got premium brands. I have brands that cross the spectrum. And so what we're seeing is, are consumers down, shifting just a little bit? Sure. But we're also seeing tremendous growth with products that are, over $200. So I think you are seeing a disparity across all of the price tiers. But at the same time, like I said, you're seeing people redefine what premium really means. I think it's becoming maybe less about price point and more about what the purpose-driven value is, what the occasion in their life they're using. They're using alcohol to celebrate with. So I think, at the end of the day, people want transparency. They want transparency in price. They want transparency in how we source, how we produce, how we give back, all of those things.
In terms of the lineup that you have right now, you said people are choosing quality over quantity. Is there you have a large range of what you do? I mean, dozens of different spirits and alcohols, liqueurs, ready to drink cocktails. Where's the strength?
It's in convenience, variety, innovation. I think what we're seeing is people don't mind spending a little bit more for something that they haven't seen before, right? And that could be with an RTD. So maybe it's a little more expensive RTD, but it's a flavor combination they haven't quite had before. Or maybe it's a really luxury whiskey with a finish or a blending technique, in our case, that they haven't seen before. So I think people, we vote with our dollars, right? And they'll consume what they think is new, interesting, and what they can get information about, what they connect with.
So RTD, obviously ready to drink. I've had certainly some of those. Hey, you sent over to our team so that we could share with the audience some of the stuff that you guys, I actually have next to me, Copper Craft Distillery, made in the USA, Holland, Michigan. It's straight bourbon whiskey. Tell me about this one. I'm actually going to be, it's been quite a day. It's been quite a week. It's been quite a year. I'm going to
Can I join you?
Yes.
Can I join you?
We're so, yes. Wait, I'm gonna.
She's at the you're here in the studio.
I'm here in our pack hall.
Allie's at the distillery.
I don't want to. Wait. Shh. Wait. Oh, there we go. Okay. I didn't want to spill it. I didn't want to spill it. Okay, so tell me about this, because it isn't certainly a brand that I think I'm familiar with. But you're right. People are looking. I know when I go to buy a wine, I like to try different things.
Right. So, we're based out of Holland, Michigan. And you think, I get this question all the time. Isn't whiskey just in Kentucky? And the great thing about an American spirit is that it can be in all 50 states. And so for us, we're in Holland, Michigan, on the west side of Michigan, here on the lakeshore. And we've had this brand for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And I think what you've got is it's a straight bourbon whiskey.
I can smell the whiskey sour that could also be made out of this. But
this is finished in rum casks. What does that mean?
Well, it means we took an already amazing whiskey. I think the one you've got is 8 years old. And we put it in, I don't have any casks in this room. We put it in a rum cask that used to hold rum, and we just let it rest for about a year.
So it takes on a different flavor than something that would be finished in a different type of cask.
But I see what you say. Right. Like, you don't, this reminds me of my dad, who used to make whiskey sours for all of us as kids. And most of the times it was a lot more oranges and cherries in it than whiskey. But you could also just, the variety, I feel like the craft industry, even in liquor, like you just alone, it's just something really nice.
Right. Like, what did craft used to be? If we look back at beer, we think craft was small batch, craft whiskey, small batch, and craft, much like the way we redefine premium, craft has evolved too. So like you just said, I've not heard of this before. What is this? And so craft is now evolving to be, what is that experience I can get? Who are the people that make it? How transparent are they about what they're doing? Can I go visit them? Who are, that's what craft is now. It's the process, the technique, the people, the story that you're telling about the whiskey or the spirit.
The distribution of this is a question that I have, because at least here in New York City, I don't know how it works in other parts of the world, but in other parts of the country, but you walk into a liquor store, and I've talked to some of these folks in there, and again, it changes depending on where you live, but it's a challenge to get smaller brands on the shelves, especially with the big brands, the large brands that own a good portion. They come in and say, okay, well, if you want to carry this, you have to carry this. And there's not much power that these small companies have. How do you make sure you get shelf space that's like premium?
What a great question. Relationships. Like any business, any industry, it really does come down to relationships. And for a small, craft, right? We've got 5 brands. We cover 42 states, and we're still crafts. What does that mean? We have to show up in market. You've got to show up at that retailer. You've got to show up with the distributors. Those distributors are still my customers. So it's built on relationships and making sure they know, just like we connect with our consumers online and tell those stories, make sure they know who we are. And that we are a small business, that every single sale matters to us. And much like them, we're just trying to connect with consumers. So I think it's finding that common ground through relationships.
Yeah, it always comes down to that. I feel like relationships for so many different industries. Hey, before you go, we've talked about Copper Craft, and I actually sampled some. But you also shared with our team, just to kind of look at kind of the variety and different places you go, elderflower. I'm a little obsessed with elderflower right now. And you've got Thatcher's Organic Artisanal? Yeah.
You got to move to Brooklyn.
Artesian spirits.
It's artesian. Okay.
Yeah. That's why. Sorry. I couldn't read it.
I'm not looking at the word, but.
I'm looking off because we took a picture. You've got Fox, and is it O'Denny?
Odin.
Okay, forgive me. Sorry, I'm looking at a small picture. But tell us a little bit about some of the other ones. And then Thatcher's vodka. It's not because I've been drinking. I just couldn't read the picture because I took a picture so I could read on air. Go ahead.
No, I'll join you. We'll here's at the end here. No, it's Thatcher's organic, right? It's, we think about spirits. Does it really matter? Yeah, it sure does. Something like Thatcher's is very culinary forward. So you mentioned elderflower. I bet we're drinking the heck out of Hugo Spritzes right now with that elderflower.
Totally.
Prosecco. Amazing, nice. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and again, that's a way to enjoy maybe a little bit of lower proof, but still feel great and be festive and all of those things. So, then we've got like Fox and Odin is luxury whiskey. And we've got a beautiful double oaked that was just up we had 2 of the top 5 finalists for the best special barrel finished whiskeys in the world a couple Sundays ago in San Francisco. So, we're craft, we're competing against all these big guys. But because of what we're able to do with our size, with our expertise, we can deliver some really luxury things to the market as well. And we do.
Really, really cool stuff. I think we have to run. Next time, come join us.
Cheers.
But it was really nice. Cheers. To drink with you.
Cheers.
Four more bottles of stuff that you can sample, Carol, in the next 5 minutes.
Happy holidays, and I know we'll catch up again. But really, really lovely to check in with you once again. Allie Anderson, she is the CEO of CraftCo, a portfolio that includes more than 24 spirits and liqueurs, joining us from a distillery in Holland, Michigan.